Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the word rational. The word rational means what? What does the word rational mean? Kind of, it has the word ratio in it. It can be written as a fraction. And so when I'm talking about rational exponents, these are going to involve things that are fractions. Okay? And so a rational exponent is what we call a root. Let me give you an example. If I have a to the 1 divided by m power, that's a fraction, right? 1 over m. I would rewrite that as the nth root of a. And so let me give you an example with a number. This little number here tells you what kind of root it is. So if it's a cube root, we just put a little cube and a root symbol. Doesn't this kind of look like a square root symbol? But the square root symbol is just for a square root. There's also a cubed root, a fourth root, a fifth root, and so on. So my example then would be this. If I had a to the 1/3 power, the way that I would write that as a, we call it a radical, is that is the cubed root of a. This is called a radical symbol. Let's use a number. Let's do one with a number. So if I asked for 625 to the 1/4 power, what I'm looking for is the 4th root of 625. The 4th root. And so what that means is what number times itself 4 times gives me 625, and we look on our root card. I'm looking for 4th, so I'm 625, the 4th root is 5. If you ever wanted to check yourself, what you could do is then do 5 to the 4th power, and you should get 625, and you do. Okay? Now, if you you can use your calculator to do these. You would simply do 625, you'd need to use parentheses, to the 1 divided by 4 power. But I'd like you to understand what a 4th root means. What it means is it's the number to the 4th power that gives you that number. Okay. All right. How would you write then, do you think, the square root? What power would that be? So if the 1/3 is the cubed root, the 1/4 is the 4th root, the 1/2. Yep. The square root, I'll give you, if you see anything, x, y, a number to the 1/2, we would write that as the square root of x. Okay, so let's do some examples together. These first ones are not involving rational exponents. They're just some more review. And then on the next page, we're going to practice some rational ones, okay? All right, so simplify. No negative exponents allowed. So what should I do first on number 1? So let's raise everything to the 2nd power, right? This means 6 squared times n to the 4th times 2, right? Isn't that how you do a power to a power? Over x squared. All right, help me out here. What is 6 squared? 36. N to the 4 times 2 power, that's n to the 8 over x squared. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. What I like to do with these is kind of go piece by piece. So I'm going to kind of separate these fractions out. I'm going to reduce 12 over 20 I'm going to reduce n to the third over n to the sixth and x to the 10th over x squared. Can somebody reduce 12 over 20 for me? What does that reduce to? What can you pull out of top and bottom? Can you divide both by 4? Yep. What's 12 divided by 4? 3. And what's 20 divided by 4? 5. Okay. Now let's rewrite these. So when I have a quotient, do you remember what we do to the powers or the exponents? Subtract them, right? So what's 3 minus 6? Negative 3. So this is n to the negative third. Some of you might just remember that's just 1 over n to the third, and you can go right to that step without writing the in-between step. That's fine. How about x to the 10th divided by x squared? That's going to be x to the 8. Okay. Now, let's just look at these. What are the things? We have a top and bottom of the fraction. We're going to put it back together. On the top is going to be a 3. Is this going to go on the top? No. Because it's 1 over n cubed, right? Isn't it going to go on the bottom then? Okay. How about the x to the 8th? Won't that go on the top? Yeah. So on the top I have 3x to the 8th. On the bottom I have 5n cubed. Okay. That's about as complicated as we'll get with those, putting things together. Alright, let's just do the same thing. How would we rewrite m to the negative fourth? 1 over m to the fourth. So what things go on top? 15 and b squared, and this goes on the bottom over m to the fourth. Making sense so far? Okay. Next thing then. Would you, and you can, if you know how to use your root card, great. If you don't know how to use your root card, what I'd like you to do is type these in your calculator. I'm going to give you 1 minute. This is not a group thing, this is an individual thing. To use your calculator, or you can borrow one of mine, and you are going to type these in your calculator. For instance, 81 to the 1/2, you would write like this, and you put the fraction power in a parentheses, and notice what I get is 9. Alright, would you take 1 minute to do 2 through 9? I have 3 calculators up here. This is one of those things, guys, where you need to practice putting it in your calculator. Because if the first time you put it in your calculator is like on a test and then you're confused, that's no good. So practice. Put it in your calculator, please. If you don't have a calculator, I have some up here. Naomi, Madison, you guys can grab one. Cody. Still do it to the 2/3 power. 2 divided by 3. So use the divided by key. Okay?
How do you do that?
Type it in your calculator.
How do you do it on the root?
You'd have to do 2 steps. A cubed root and then squared. All right, here we go. What did we get? 4. Okay, good. So make sure that, thank you, Chloe. Make sure that you got that when you typed in your calculator so that you are verifying you know how to use your calculator to find a root. Okay? So, as I just said, there's 2 things that can happen. This is our rule. If I have a to the 1 over n power, that means we're going to have the nth root of a. As a radical, we write it like this. So, how would I say number 4? What's the vocab for that? What root of 8? The third root or cubed root of 8. This would be, we wouldn't say the half root, we'd say the square root of 49, square root of 64. This would be the 4th root of 256, the 5th root. What in the world happened here? Does anybody know? Because this is not the cubed root of 8, right? Because the cubed root of 8 is 2. Okay, what is the, can you guys tell me what the cubed root of 8 is? 2. What's 2 squared? 4. Ah, the bottom gives us the cubed root, and then we square it. Okay? So, let's write that out. When you see a to the m over n power, what that means is this. It's the nth root, but then raised to that power. Remember our power to power rule, that those were multiplied together? It's like I'm going in reverse. I'm kind of breaking it down in that way. So it's the nth root of a to the m power. So here's how we remember: the bottom is the root, the top is the power we're going to raise it to. Okay? And so let me just show you how we'd write it as a radical. The nth root of a we'd write like this, and then we'd raise it to the m power. So like that. Okay. Alright, so we've talked about this just earlier. I hope it makes sense. 25 to the 1/2 is 5, because 5 squared, or 5 times 5, is 25. The cubed root, or third root of 216 is 6, because 6 times 6 times 6, or 6 cubed, is 216. Now, so do you understand how the powers work? With no calculator, I will give you 2 minutes to do 1 through 12, please.